Okay, so Ms. Rogers, are you ready to proceed?
Yeah, I'm sorry if I did something wrong on my phone.
That's okay. All right, let's go on the record in the matter of the City of Wyandotte versus Tony Rogers, 241618. Counsel, your appearance, please.
Good morning, Judge. Attorney Corey Westmoreland, appearing on behalf of Ms. Rogers. Ms. Rogers, would you please state your name for the record?
Tony Rogers.
All right, so today's date scheduled for sentencing on your plea to the possession of controlled substance. And counsel, did you have an opportunity to review the report and recommendation with Ms. Rogers?
I did, Your Honor. There's no additions, deletions, or corrections that need to be made at this time. I would just like to note that Ms. Rogers still does have her GPS tether on, so we'd simply just be requesting that that be taken off. She has submitted to and passed all drug and alcohol screens at this time. Your Honor, as this honorable court's aware, she is scheduled for a C-section next Thursday. She does anticipate, she has had some complications, that she will be remaining in the hospital for some time as well. I told her just to stay in contact with her probation officer, and everything should be fine. But I would just like to note that. Other than that, Judge, I would just ask that the recommendation be adopted on behalf of Ms. Rogers.
Okay, and so the court will note that Ms. Rogers was originally scheduled for sentencing January 5th. We did not hold that sentencing because she had relapsed and she wanted to participate in the 25th District Court treatment court. So we adjourned it to February 11th. And then it's been adjourned a couple other times because of difficulty with Ms. Rogers being able to stay in communication with the 25th District Court as well as get there for the meetings. Is that accurate, Ms. Rogers?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So it's also my understanding that while she is interested in the treatment court, given the fact that she is about to give birth, that's not something that's going to be able to work for her. Is that accurate, Ms. Rogers?
I didn't hear you very well. I'm sorry, my daughter's in the background.
That although you're interested in the 25th District Court treatment court, given the fact that you are about to give birth and then you're going to have a newborn and you have some transportation and housing issues, that you're not going to be able to participate right now.
Yes, ma'am. It would be very difficult for me to do all that. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so where are you staying right now, ma'am?
I'm sorry.
Where is it you're staying right now?
I didn't hear you. I'm sorry.
Where are you staying right now?
Right now I'm at my mother's house, Your Honor. But there's been, if I can talk to you after court or call, there's been a lot going on. My stepfather is telling me that my new baby is not welcome here. So I'm trying to figure out where I'm gonna go after I have the baby and I'm allowed to leave the hospital.
Okay, so what resources have you applied for?
I was talking to a woman named Bobby through DWIN about Genesis House. I've been talking to a child protective service worker. She said she was going to talk to her supervisor and see how they can help me. And
Ms. Rogers, over the last 2 months, there has been plenty of time for you to apply for emergency housing assistance. So my question is, where have you applied?
Through DHS. When I just redid my food stamp application, I've been on every website that I can think of and voicemails everywhere. I've been trying to do it anywhere I can.
And so we want your DHS worker.
Okay.
What's that?
I didn't hear what you said.
You're a DHS worker. You receive benefits from the state, correct?
Yeah, I had to reapply for my food benefits, so I'm waiting to get a letter in the mail to find out when I'm gonna have my phone interview to be able to speak with them.
And when did you apply for that?
4 days ago.
It's been 2 months, Miss Rogers. 2 months it's been.
No, me and my fiance had applied when we tried to get the rental assistance back like 2 months ago. But our phones weren't active. God, please. No. So we missed the phone interview. Not, baby. No. I'm so sorry. Stop. I'm on the phone. Stop it now. Oh, stop. I'm so sorry, Your Honor.
My concern, Ms. Rogers, is that you're procrastinating and not doing what needs to be done immediately. But that's on wherever your circumstances are. If you're testing right now, what's in your system?
I'm clean, Your Honor.
The court's going to move to hearing from counsel, hearing from Ms. Rogers, reviewing the report recommendation. If there's reasonable grounds to depart from MCL 769.5. The court's also going to note the following sentence: in the best interest of justice is reasonable and proportionate to the seriousness of this matter and the circumstances surrounding Ms. Rogers and the legislative guidelines. The court's going to order 24 months probation. You're eligible for early discharge. You're also eligible under 25.136B. You're not to violate any criminal law of any unit of government. You're not to leave the state without the consent of the court. You are to report smoothly to your probation officer as often as your probation officer may require, in person, in writing, or virtually. You're notifying the probation officer immediately when you change your address or employment status. You are not to use any alcohol or drugs unless prescribed and be subjected to random testing. The rehabilitative goal for that condition is so the court can monitor your progress in maintaining abstinence and sobriety. The court's going to order intensive outpatient substance use counseling and mental health counseling. The rehabilitative goal for those conditions is to assist you in providing coping mechanisms so that you may maintain sobriety and prevent relapse, as well as to determine what your mental health needs are, and so you can get the support for those. For that, the court's going to also order you to participate in fan meetings once per month. The rehabilitative goal for that condition is to help provide you with additional support services to maintain sobriety as well as recovery resources. There's a meeting this Thursday, so I'm presuming you're going to be there. Is that correct?
Where's the meeting at, Your Honor?
In case it wasn't January, did you go in January?
Did I go in January to a meeting?
Ms. Rogers, did you go to a meeting in January?
A meeting where, Your Honor?
The FAN meeting, the Face Addiction Now meeting. Did you go to that meeting in January, on January 17th?
No, I don't think I went to any meeting.
Well, you should have, because that's what this court ordered you to do when you were last here for sentencing on January 15th.
The last thing I remember, Your Honor, is when I was there, you said when you leave here, go to Lincoln Park, and then I went there and set up an appointment to try to get through with the sobriety court.
Yes, and I also ordered you to attend the FAN meetings. So you haven't been to any FAN meetings at the Turning Point Clubhouse?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, Ms. Rogers, I understand that you have a lot going on right now. Given your circumstances, but you need to take a much more active role in trying to change those circumstances.
Yes, Your Honor.
It's only 2 months. It has now been 2 months since you have been here last. And you don't seem to be any further along in your housing options or anything of that matter. And you're about to give birth to another child next week.
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Rogers, are you paying attention to what I'm saying?
I am. I'm sorry. I'm trying to. There's nobody here. I'm trying to get her what she needs. She won't be so loud if I can hear you. I'm sorry. I am paying attention, Your Honor.
So what did I just say, please?
That I have not done what I'm supposed to, and I've got no further within the last 2 months.
I couldn't really hear what you said because you stepped away from the phone.
That you don't think I've gotten very far in 2 months, and
It doesn't appear as though you've done much work, ma'am, to get the housing that you and your children need. And I will tell you right now, while you're on probation, not having your phone, not having a stable place to live are not going to be excuses for not complying with these conditions, ma'am.
Yes, Your Honor.
Is your fiance working yet?
No, Your Honor.
How is it that there are two able-bodied adults that are not working and you have, between the two of you, this is going to be your fourth child or third?
This will be my third.
How is it that neither one of you are working? You might can understand a bit more. How is he not working?
I don't know where we don't see each other much. We stay in separate places. As far as I know, he's applied at landscaping jobs, fast food, White Castle. He doesn't talk to me much about it, Your Honor.
Okay, Ms. Rogers, you have to stop relying on him to do anything, and you need to grab the situation by the horns, and you need to figure out what you need to do for you and your children. Rely on the DHS worker for the assistance, for the help. Contact your DHS worker. Ask for emergency housing. You can ask for that, ma'am.
I know, Your Honor. I'm just waiting on the letter to come in the mail so that I can do the photo.
Stop waiting. Stop waiting. Continue to call until you get an answer that you need. Stop waiting. Waiting has gotten you nowhere. You're in the same position, it's gotten worse because now you're in a living situation where you know that you're not really wanted to be there.
Yes, ma'am.
So stop waiting.
Yes, ma'am. I'll call when I get done with court.
Yes, and you're going to be emailing into probation every time you're making a phone call and what the results were of that phone call and where you called and why you called. Because if you're not held to task to turn in what you're supposed to be doing, then you're not doing it. 2 months has gone by and you're not any better of a situation. $500 fine, $100 screening assessment fee, $1,200 supervision oversight fee. That's 24 months at $50 a month. Because you're eligible for early discharge, up to half of that could be waived. $300 for the cost of prosecution, crime victim assessment fee of $75, justice system assessment fee of $50, for a total of $2,225. I wanted to indicate that you can set up a payment plan with probation upon employment. Okay, so that's one thing you don't have to worry about doing right now is making any payments.
Okay.
Okay, email into probation as soon as you're done here.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Your Honor.
Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Have a good day.